All right, everybody. So today we have Aave, we have Ampleforth, we have Curve Finance, we have NEO, we have Reserve Rights Token. We also have Tron and VeChain, among many others that are being considered for support here on Coinbase Custody. Hey everybody, Maddie here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. We are discussing today that major news that we just alluded to a moment ago, the fact that Coinbase Custody is coming out and announcing, again, it's not support, it's consideration of support for that whole range of projects, many of which, of course, we've discussed very regularly here on the channel, so we're excited to explore a couple of those. We'll also be reminding you guys of the fact that Filecoin for a couple of days now has been supported by Coinbase Custody. So we're looking at that in today's short video. Let's start things off with a look at the markets. We're down ever so slightly here, but just barely. I mean, pretty much flat, down 0.1% as of right now. As soon as I refresh it, that brings us to $361.1 billion. Bitcoin sitting at $11,341. That's down 0.3% on the day in these last 24 hours. Basically flat, and any gains or losses here kind of negligible. However, I do want to point you in the direction among the top 100 of the winners here in the last 24 hours. You'll see at the top of the pack is Ampleforth. AMPL is the ticker. They're up 25.1% in the last day, largely on the heels, I imagine, of this news that has been released from Coinbase Custody. So they're at $1.16 right now. Ample really kind of, I guess they're trying to redefine the whole supply-demand ecosystem that exists in the world of currencies. So they're a pretty good example of, I think, where this hype and where this exuberance, courtesy of Coinbase Custody, can take you in the short term. 25% in a day, that's not a bad return. However, kind of throughout this video, I want to ask you guys the question, does it really matter what Coinbase is doing anymore? We've seen the fact that, the volumes on Coinbase Custody are becoming, I think, increasingly irrelevant in a world of AMM, in a world that's now dominated by Uniswap and the like. So Coinbase Custody, I think, used to be a big deal, increasingly less so. I don't want to dampen your opinion of the news kind of heading into it. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. But again, just something to consider. I think there was a time where that used to carry more weight. Nevertheless, there's still an impact here. And again, as you can see, Ampleforth up 25.1% on the day. Okay, here's the tweet itself at Coinbase Custody. Coinbase Custody explores support for new digital assets here, a whole set of them, a couple dozen in fact, and you can read about that more on blog.coinbase.com. Let's quickly run through the offering here. We have Aave, Ampleforth, Anchor, Arcoin, Audius, Barn Bridge, BitTorrent token, which we talked about the other day, Centrifuge, CoinFlux Network, Curve, which is an interesting one, DeFi.money, Elrond Gold, Just, JUST, Just Stablecoin, Meta, Movieblock, MStable, Neo, Nervos, New Cipher, Ontology, Paxos Gold, Paxos Standard, Reserve Rights, Request Network, Scale, SunToken, TBTC, Terra, The Graph, Tron, VeChain, Wing, Wink, and finally, to round things up, Wrapped Bitcoin. So the Coinbase blog here writes, in addition to industry-leading security and insurance protection, Coinbase Custody has remained on the leading edge of crypto-native features such as staking, governance, and decentralized finance, DeFi. We have built a system that is secure and reliable, but also has the features and functionality that most traders and financial institutions are looking for. And insofar as Coinbase has an angle here or has a focused strategy, I think this represents it more than anything based on some of the selections. Quote, part of growing the crypto economy, Coinbase Custody will also be exploring ways to serve more institutional clients across the Asia-Pacific region. Most recently, Coinbase Custody has added support for FTX, FTT, and Serum as well, SRM. And of course, here are all the projects that we just went through a moment ago. And then you have the normal legalese here saying that our decision is just preliminary right now. We haven't made any final choices. It all depends on significant legwork and technical review, compliance review, yada, yada, yada. It's always the same more or less, but these are the projects right now that are at least under consideration for future support. So there are some projects here that we've covered in the past for which we're actually pretty excited, and some of them have responded pretty well in terms of the price movement. Others seemingly just haven't budged at all, which is curious. And I think that corroborates my point about how Coinbase is not really a market mover anymore. They're not, I think, a force that really is as powerful as they used to be. Just my opinion. It's still positive news, but I think it's just been kind of diluted by the evolution of not only DeFi, but other aspects, other variables in this space. Nevertheless, Ampleforth up 25.0% on the day. As I mentioned, sitting right now at $1.16. You can check out their website here, where supply meets demand in the world of currencies, not only cryptocurrencies, but currencies at large. Aave is actually doing pretty well, not to the same extent, maybe an order of magnitude less impacted here, but still up 3.9% on the day to now just over $43. Aave, again, ticker AAVE, and their website here will be linked to as well in the description below. And VeChain, which we've been very excited about in the past, talking about that Asia Pacific market, talking about logistics. I think VeChain would probably be one of the more likely selections that they move forward with here. It's not really based on much other than their explicitly expressed goals, Coinbase custodies that is, but VeChain I'm probably most excited about to see here on the list, personally speaking. I'm also a bag holder, can you tell? So VET up 2.5% on the day to just over a penny, about 1.1 pennies right now. You can always read more about VeChain here on vchain.org. And we are reminding you guys on altcoinbuzz.io that Filecoin is now also officially supported by Coinbase Custody. You can see that from a couple of days ago here. They tweeted again at Coinbase Custody. They now support Filecoin, FIL. There are a couple of other exchanges that have expressed support as well. At Gemini here, FIL is open for trading on mobile and web. Welcome to Gemini, Filecoin. Huobi also expressing a similar welcome here at Huobi Global. Huobi launches Filecoin, FIL. Deposits opens now. Trading starts soon. Deposit FIL or trade to share $50,000. Details are available here. If you haven't been up to speed on Filecoin, they've kind of taken the market by storm in a bit of a funky way, and not to dive into it here, but some of their tokenomics are pretty whack, to say the least, but nonetheless, they are a competitor to the BTFSs of the world. We covered sort of a comparing and contrasting video. We covered that angle the other day, comparing them to Justin Sun's project and what BitTorrent is up to, but also against the more traditional cloud storage, decentralized storage systems, such as Microsoft OneDrive, such as Google Drive, such as Dropbox and stuff like that. You can check out our What is Filecoin video specifically for more of an in-depth look at the project and a token analysis of it. Frank did a great job on that yesterday. Okay, so it's a short video today, but I just want to leave you guys with this thought here, courtesy of Binance, at Binance on Twitter. Where will crypto be in 10 years? So your thoughts and your reactions to that are very welcome, but I also want to kind of challenge you guys a little bit further and ask, where will Bitcoin be in 100 years? We've already seen kind of how Bitcoin measures up in terms of its energy consumption, somewhere in the range of the 130th or 140th country in the world in terms of its energy production, just to keep up the Bitcoin economy, which sounds like a big deal. So if we're kind of, in this era of diminishing returns, and we have to kind of keep pushing and keep extracting more and more and more, everything is evolving, everything is just supercharged with every passing day. Can you imagine where we're going to be in 100 years as difficulty rises, as the price of Bitcoin hopefully also rises exponentially in that time? What kind of energy expectations are we going to have for Bitcoin? Is it going to be sustainable in the future? Well, we have an answer to that, so we're going to be taking a look at the cryptocurrency landscape, looking specifically at Bitcoin in 100 years. But before that video is released, again, would love to hear your thoughts and comments about it. I'm not crowdsourcing you for information. Believe me, we already have our answer, but it's certainly an interesting thought experiment. So give it a think. Let us know your thoughts about it, and hit us up in the comments below with your perspective. All right, everybody, that about covers it for today's short video. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels, and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest news and developments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Of course, best of luck if you choose to invest on this Saturday, everybody. Stay safe out there, I implore you. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.